The 70s, 80s, and 90s were a golden era for adult animation, a time when filmmakers dared to push boundaries in ways that live action often could not. From satirical social commentary to surreal fantasies, these films challenged conventional storytelling, experimented with bold visuals, and explored mature themes with unflinching honesty. Many of these titles have been overlooked or forgotten, yet they remain fascinating time capsules of ambition and creativity. Today, we're exploring 10 obscure adult animated films that are too strange, provocative, and imaginative to ignore. 10. The Devil and Daniel Mouse, 1978. The Devil and Daniel Mouse takes the classic Faustian tale and transforms it into a surreal, adult-oriented musical adventure. On its surface, it's a story about ambition, desire, and moral compromise, told through a cast of anthropomorphic animals. But the film's real genius lies in its ability to combine whimsy with dark satire. Daniel Mouse, a struggling musician, strikes a deal with the devil to achieve fame and fortune, believing he can outwit the forces of evil. The animation itself is simultaneously playful and disquieting. Characters stretch and contort in bizarre ways, backgrounds warp to reflect internal turmoil, and color palettes shift dramatically to match the story's emotional beats. The soundtrack, full of jazzy and eerie tunes, elevates scenes from light-hearted comedy to moments of tension and foreboding. Beyond its entertainment value, the film critiques ambition, societal pressure, and the consequences of moral shortcuts, making it a deeply layered work of adult animation that balances humor, horror, and ethical reflection in a way few films of the time attempted.
Callatory. First, Gerard.
9. Blood Rain, Curse of the Yoma, 1989. Blood Rain is a masterclass in adult horror animation. Set in a violent feudal-era Japan, it tells the story of a young samurai confronting a demonic Yoma that threatens his village. Unlike more sanitized fantasy narratives, this film embraces horror and gore as essential storytelling elements. The Yoma are grotesque, combining human and animal traits into terrifying forms, while the protagonist's fights are fluid, brutal, and choreographed to feel both epic and intimate. But the violence is never gratuitous. It underscores the moral and emotional struggles of the characters. Themes of courage, sacrifice, revenge, and the human capacity for evil permeate the narrative, giving the film a darkly philosophical core. The animation style balances realism with expressionistic exaggeration, creating nightmarish imagery that remains striking even decades later. Every sequence immerses viewers in a tense, morally complex world where survival is as much about inner strength as skill with a blade. It's an unflinching, unforgettable exploration of human and supernatural conflict in adult animation. Eight. Town Called Panic, 2009. Despite being released later than most on this list, Town Called Panic embodies the chaotic, boundary-pushing spirit of adult animation. A Belgian stop-motion feature, it follows toy-like characters navigating a nonsensical, anarchic town. Every ordinary task becomes an unpredictable adventure, and the humor is absurdist, often dark, and highly satirical. The deliberately clunky animation style heightens the surrealism, making every jump, fall, and explosion both comical and unnerving. Beneath the surface, the film critiques authority, social norms, and heroism, using anthropomorphic characters as stand-ins for human flaws and eccentricities. Its narrative structure is episodic, each scene building upon escalating chaos, yet the characters' personalities and relationships anchor the story, giving it emotional weight amidst the absurdity. The soundtrack, timing, and sound design are perfectly attuned to the film's frenetic pace, turning it into an immersive experience that feels alive, unpredictable, and wildly creative. It's a modern example of how adult animation can be both playful and intellectually stimulating, earning it a cult following worldwide.
Dans la classe de Madame Longré. Ça va, Steven, j'y vais tout de suite. Encore une petite douche. Madame Longré, Madame Longré, Madame Longré. Haleine die er
7. Cleopatra, 1970. This provocative retelling of the life of Cleopatra is far from a conventional animated feature. The film immerses viewers in a lush, erotic, and politically charged version of ancient Egypt, where the queen navigates court intrigue, betrayal, and romance with cunning and sensuality. The animation emphasizes elegance and expressiveness, with fluid character movements, lavish backgrounds, and dramatic lighting that enhance the film's mature themes. Scenes of seduction, political negotiation, and personal conflict are choreographed to heighten emotional tension, showing Cleopatra as a multi-dimensional figure rather than a one-note archetype. The film's adult-oriented content, particularly its frank depiction of sexuality intertwined with power dynamics, was groundbreaking for its time. It explores the consequences of ambition, love, and betrayal, making it a sophisticated meditation on human desire and political maneuvering. Every frame feels meticulously crafted to balance eroticism, drama, and historical spectacle, cementing it as an audacious and unforgettable adult animated feature.
お父様よ、坊や。
おお、お前によく似て。
あなたも抱いてごらんになる？
わかるかな？
抱けますとも。
6. The Wild Swans, 1977. The Wild Swans adapts Hans Christian Andersen's story into a visually stunning, emotionally complex adult animated film. While fairy tales are often softened for children, this version emphasizes suffering, endurance, and moral choice. The princess must endure grueling trials to save her brothers, transformed into swans by a wicked spell. The film's animation employs muted tones and flowing motion to create an atmosphere of melancholy and tension, while background designs provide sweeping, painterly landscapes that immerse the viewer fully in the story. Beyond the fairy tale narrative, the film explores adult themes such as sacrifice, loyalty, and the ethical consequences of one's actions. Emotional beats are given space to resonate. Moments of hope are juxtaposed with despair. Triumph is never simple, and the journey tests characters to their limits. The Wild Swans is a testament to how animation can tackle profound human themes with sensitivity, artistry, and emotional resonance. Five. Ninja Scroll, 1993. A landmark in adult anime, Ninja Scroll combines breathtaking action with mature storytelling and graphic intensity. Following the wandering swordsman Jubei Kibagami, the film pits him against supernatural assassins and morally corrupt warlords in feudal Japan. The action sequences are fluid, detailed, and cinematic, showcasing masterful choreography that balances tension, strategy, and spectacle. Violence is explicit but narratively motivated, heightening the stakes and emphasizing the brutality of Jubei's world. The narrative also explores themes of loyalty, betrayal, honor, and personal sacrifice, ensuring that character development matches the visual intensity. The aesthetic choices, sharp color contrasts, atmospheric lighting, and exaggerated yet grounded character designs reinforce the story's dark, gritty tone. While technically a product of the early 90s, its sensibilities and narrative daring echo the bold adult animation of the 80s, cementing it as a defining work in the genre. Four. Hugo the Hippo, 1975. Hugo the Hippo may appear whimsical at first glance, but it's rich in social commentary and narrative ambition. Hugo, a hippopotamus, becomes central to saving a drought-stricken town, and the story uses anthropomorphism to explore themes of human greed, societal neglect, and moral responsibility. The film's musical sequences are not just entertainment, they deepen character development and accentuate thematic elements, creating emotional resonance. Visually, the animation blends naturalistic portrayals with surreal exaggeration, enhancing the moral and emotional weight of the story. Scenes oscillate between joyous musicality and somber reflection, illustrating the consequences of selfishness and the impact of compassion. This complex emotional palette, combined with adult-targeted storytelling, elevates Hugo the Hippo into a unique cinematic experience that blends whimsy with sobering social critique.
Итак, я предлагаю, господа, подвергнуть этого преступника смертной казни, чтоб другим не повадно было.
3. Once Upon a Girl, 1976. Once Upon a Girl transforms classic fairy tales into a provocative, adult-oriented anthology told through the recollections of a risque storytelling grandfather. The film's animation is bold and unafraid, emphasizing eroticism, slapstick humor, and grotesque exaggeration. Each story is a commentary on human desires, societal expectations, and the absurdity of moral hypocrisy. While the surface humor may seem playful, deeper reflection reveals sharp critiques of conformity, sexual repression, and cultural norms. The narrative structure allows the viewer to explore multiple layers of meaning, shifting between comedy, satire, and social observation. It is a daring, unapologetically adult film that pushes the boundaries of animation as a medium, demonstrating how storytelling can combine pleasure, shock, and critical reflection.
We must learn to be tolerant and understanding of unforeseen developments along life's pathway. Down this quickly, my child.
2. Down and Dirty Duck, 1974. Down and Dirty Duck exemplifies underground adult animation's raw, chaotic spirit. Following the exploits of a sex-obsessed duck, the film combines anarchic humor with biting social satire, critiquing authority, societal norms, and cultural taboos. The animation is intentionally crude and exaggerated, reinforcing the absurdity and subversive nature of the narrative. Scenes jump rapidly between unrelated gags, bizarre encounters, and shocking moments, creating a sense of unpredictability that mirrors the protagonist's moral and psychological chaos. Despite its apparent chaos, the film is meticulously designed to challenge viewers' expectations, forcing reflection on the absurdity of social conventions, human desire, and rebellion. Its influence on subsequent adult animation and cult appreciation underscores its significance as an audacious, boundary-pushing work. One. Tarzoon, Shame of the Jungle, 1975. At the top of the list, Tarzan, Shame of the Jungle, is a fearless reimagining of the jungle hero myth, blending social critique, eroticism, and moral complexity. Tarzan inhabits a jungle rife with corruption, human greed, and ethical ambiguity, where every action has consequence. The animation merges realism with bold exaggeration, highlighting both physical spectacle and psychological depth. The narrative confronts themes of colonialism, exploitation, and the corruption of power, intertwining them with erotic tension and ethical dilemmas. Characters are multifaceted, morally gray, and subject to the harsh realities of their environment, creating a story that is emotionally and intellectually compelling. The film's audacious style, daring content, and immersive world-building make it a unique masterpiece of obscure adult animation, earning its place as one of the most provocative, unforgettable animated films ever made. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden corners of cinema, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to Cinemira for more strange, forgotten, and fascinating films. Your support keeps this adventure alive. And trust me, there's so much more to discover together.